You know, Glenn, I started to take notes. And
I know.
This guy's bouncing around all over the place. It was a speech written by a fifth grader. That said, you're right. Substantively, this is a frontal attack on our constitutional system and limited government. It is a frontal attack on our capitalist system. He's basically throwing out all the bromides for all the radical left groups that form the base of the modern Democrat Party. And I make the case that, clearly not in all the particulars and so forth, but when you hear about the class warfare, attacking your own country is systemically racist, that it's immigrants, not citizens, who make the country. When you listen to the oppressed and the oppressor and the class warfare, this is Marxist bullcrap in its broadest sense. Now, all that said, here we are, a country now where one man can get up in the middle of the night and make a list of everything he wants to do to the country. You know, and I think we should extend education for 4 years. I go, what the hell is he talking about? Well, no, I think we should give all DACA citizenship no matter what. Oh, what is he talking about? Oh, Trump screwed up the border, and here I am trying to get comprehension. It goes on. It's like an unreality. We're living in separate worlds. Just looking at them. Every person in that chamber is vaccinated. Not one of them needs to wear a mask or to be 6 feet apart from each other.
Well, you know, it's
the whole
interesting.
thing is a fraud. Go ahead.
It was interesting, Mark, to watch beforehand, before the president came in, things that were not covered. We just got the raw feed from Washington, D.C. For 30 minutes, we saw them standing side by side, hugging each other, kissing through the mask. You saw, actually, Jill Biden, Dr. Jill Biden, do the same thing. There were no social distancing at all in the prior 30 minutes. It was all a show, period. All a show.
Well, I mean, I'll give you another example, right? Nancy Pelosi passes a rule that you're not supposed to use specific words that identify an individual's biological genitalia. Right? So what does Biden do? He turns around and he says, never before in American history has a president ever been here, 2 women behind me. The problem with the radicals is they can't even keep track of their own schizophrenia here. On the one hand, we Americans can do this. We can do this. We're the greatest, but we're systemically racist. We go, what the hell? We're systemically racist, but we are the greatest people who can do anything. This was a speech, a Castro-like speech without the passion. As he's going through one issue after another, one part of our society after another, he wants to eliminate right-to-work states and force everybody into unions, even though they don't want to be in unions. 90% of the people who work in this country in the private sector are not unionized. He talks about extending education. He doesn't talk about school choice. He doesn't even talk about opening the LA school system or the Chicago school system. But we should extend it 4 years. Why? To featherbed the unions, that's why. He goes on and on about we need to have free this and free that, and in order to pay for it, we'll hammer the successful and the wealthy people. Did you know 55 corporations don't pay any taxes? You know what else? There were 2 S corporations that didn't pay any Medicare taxes and Obamacare taxes. His, that he set up when he was earning $13 million a year. He didn't pay Obamacare and Medicare taxes because he set up 2 S corporations. I don't have a problem with closing, quote unquote, those loopholes, but why punish everybody, the entire society? Now, he goes on and on about the noble nature of government. Glenn, I tried to keep track of the number of new programs this man proposed. I couldn't keep track. No. Number one, I got bored. And number two, I'm thinking, what is going on here? It's like a kid in a candy shop. We should do this, we should do... And here's what it told me. Our constitutional firewalls have been breached. There's no talk about limited government. There's no talk about private property rights. There's no talk about individual liberty. None of those words passed his lips. There's not even a second thought about this. We have a Democrat Party that is fundamentally a tyrannical party that hates this country. What do they say that's good about this country other than we should rally around their agenda? I'm not going to rally around their agenda. Did they say anything positive about capitalism and free markets? Not a word. Did they say anything positive about liberty or how we're going to expand it? Not a word. Did he mention a colorblind society? That's how we get along. Not a word. Did you hear him say anything positive and constructive about law enforcement? Not a word.